some in Parliament don't quite understand that you can't just say stuff and then pretend and flip-flop and act like it didn't happen. And for this, I come to the point as to how did government really fall? And I'm going to play a clip here for you all from the meeting when the government really fell. The government of St. Martin fell when MP Myers of the UD was the one who said he pulled his support. Okay? It is right here on social media for everyone to see.
That as a person, I cannot do this anymore as such, because what we are getting is, it is one thing to say it's in the best interest of St. Martin with the amount, but while all of the other actions have shown nothing but selfishness. And that selfishness is for too long. I have been quiet, I have been a team player, I have kept things that we have discussed within the realms of the party, because I felt for the greater good and for the coalition. That's how
for the coalition, okay.
I find myself in a position defending things that I know to my heart I don't want to defend.
Wait, Frankie, hold on one second. What you said there? You sitting down in a coalition and you're doing what? We have to wheel and pull again, because that's an important statement.
Myself in a position defending things
that I know
that you know heart,
in your heart
don't want to defend.
You don't.
And when I find myself in a position like that, I don't like to be in that position.
You don't want to.
So as such, moving forward, the road is even going to be rougher.
The road will be
for St. Martin and his people.
Sorry, say that again. You're saying that you created a rougher road for St. Martin and its people. Just let me like catch back again.
I don't like to be in that position.
Okay.
So as such, moving forward, the road is even going to be rougher for St. Martin and his people. But as such, I hereby would like to make an announcement today that I am officially withdrawing my support from the present government. Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that was almost exactly, and down to the hour, 2 weeks ago, right here in Parliament, where MP Myers, to the surprise of everyone, said he withdraws his support from the government. Now I want you to understand what that means. The Parliament is 15 people, 7 in opposition, 8, a very slim majority, were supporting the government. 8 minus 1 is 7. So what you had in Parliament was a situation of 7-1-7. Okay? This is what you had. You had an opposition, you had a minority, and you had an independent member. At that moment, the government no longer had the support of a majority in Parliament. The Constitution states that a minister who does not enjoy the majority of Parliament, the support of a majority in Parliament, shall not, can, should, if he wants, if you do not enjoy the support of a majority, he shall resign, which means those ministers, the minute MP Myers, from a legal perspective, made that statement, and the governor confirmed that in his speech the following day, where he said MP Myers' decision created a cloud of uncertainty. He said that, the governor. So that moment there, St. Martin was plunged into a political vacuum. Because what happened there is, worse than a majority just coming together after it, it's even worse. Because the only thing worse about not having a government is not having a government who also don't know who orders to follow. Parliament was at a deadlock. Nothing can go. Calling meetings would not make sense. There would be no quorums. We can't pass laws. You don't know who to caucus with. It is a government shutdown situation. Understand what was created when a member pulls his support and then does not form a majority. Now, when It is, oh, yeah, right, shoes. Yeah, I realize that it's mirrored. Good point. But I think everybody understand what I said. 717. That is what we had for 2 weeks in this country. So understand, theoretically, this could have gone on forever. It could have gone on for another 2 weeks. It could have gone on for another 2 months. It could have gone on for up to 2 years, where you would have a deadlock parliament with no majority, with nobody with any idea as to, boy, do we even bring laws? Look at these FATF laws that are so important to the country, as the Minister of Justice said, who is supported by MP Myers. But guess why those laws couldn't come to Parliament? Because there is no majority to support that law and vote for it. The budget can't bring it. Nothing could come to Parliament and get real support because you don't have majority.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
You deserve it, my hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. Sing it, everyone. Sing it. Let me hear you from the bottom of our hearts. My hallelujah belongs to you. Oh, my hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. Belongs to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve.
As president of the Windward Islands Teachers Union and also president of the Windward Islands Chamber of Labor Unions, I am looking at this development. I've taken note of this development from the perspective of our workers on St. Martin. This would then be the 9th of governments since we started out in 10-10-10. And it is regrettable to know that within all those years, as workers, we have not seen none of the governments that did anything pertaining to the minimum wage, to make the minimum wage a living wage. We haven't seen anything for example, the social protection floor. We haven't seen anything coming forward from all the workers that have been displaced from their jobs due to these disasters without their own fault. You know, we haven't seen an unemployment benefit put in place, while for them as members of parliament, etc., when they lose their job, there is something in place to be able to bridge that gap. So therefore, as president, we are looking forward to basically to the new incoming government, whether it is based on another formation or it is based on elections. We are looking forward to a government program that can actually suit the people that would have to go to the polls, the workers. One that can, you know, end this crisis that the many workers are in with this short-term contract, this 6 months contract. Nothing has ever been done with that to be able to protect the workers, and we are looking forward very keenly and sharp at what are the benefits for the workers, because in 10-10-10 going forward, we were promised by the politicians that, you know, getting your own status, things would have gotten better. Now, if we are tightening our belts after 2 very, very big storms that devastated St. Martin, we are looking now at affordable social housing, as was promised in some of the campaign trails that so many houses was going to be built. I just took note of Dominica. Dominica just got 200 social housing at least in 2 years. What has St. Martin got? And therefore, this is the time where our voices have to be heard, and the politicians and the politics that is being played should now be played to benefit the workers. So let me make the analysis again: a social protection floor, unemployment benefit, living wage, social housing where people can own an affordable house, whether it is a rent to own or however that can be put in place. These are, for me, the high priority in whatever government accord that is being signed, and that would have to take us into the future.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-
There's a International Labour Organization Convention on Social Dialogue, and that is any decision that will affect workers, there must be input from the trade unions. There must be dialogue. And obviously, with instability in the political arena, tangible decisions and input from the workers' organizations to a certain extent has been lacking. Besides having a tripartite committee, social dialogue, from our perspective, should go much deeper. For example, there was discussion about short-term contracts. As far as welfare is concerned, there should be no contracts given to St. Martin workers if the job is permanent. Contracts should only be given to work or job which is of short term. But if the job is long term, there should be no contract. The person should be made permanent as long as they are accepted on the job. The trial period, the grace period, is okay. That's when both parties can make a decision whether they want to continue working or separate themselves from the working relationship. Besides that probation period, work should become permanent. Even in our collective labor agreements that we have with companies, we have it where short-term contracts are limited, where if an employee is employed for a short period of time, not on a contract as such, but they have the right to union representation and become part of the union, even though that's not what the law says. But in order to give job security and employment on a long-term basis, we make provision so that those employees, as long as they've been employed by an employer, say minimum 3 months, as long as the job is continuous and the employer find that the employee adapt himself to the requirement that he become permanent. We must establish job security, economic growth and development and stability within the economy. So it means that the law should reflect that jobs that are of a long-term nature, the job should be to the employee as a permanent one. You have different procedures that if an employee doesn't want to continue working with the employer, that he can exit. The law provides for that. And if the employer doesn't have any satisfactory, feels satisfied with the employee's performance, and the employee has done things to jeopardize or violate the labor laws or the agreement between the employer and the employee, then there's a procedure to follow to terminate the employment based on the law. But the point I want to bring across is that jobs should be made permanent. And if you want to discontinue the working relationship, then there are procedures to follow, and that should be followed according to law.
My experience here in San Martin and the reason why we escaped from our country. The political situation, all of you know about this. When I say that, for example, the basic salary in Venezuela is $4 per month, nobody believes me. The real crisis that we have in Venezuela is horrible. For what we can do with $4 here, it's a Coca-Cola. You cannot do even a ticket in the cinema. So the crisis is too high. So it's impossible to stop the crisis. You can see the news from Colombia. You see 1,000 of persons go every day. They go by car, but take a bus. They go to Colombia, to Peru, to Ecuador. We have thousands of doctors in Chile because they opened the door, the opportunity. Here in San Martin, we have 3 Venezuelan doctors now. Dr. Rojas, urologist, Dr. Morba, pediatrician, and me. It's difficult to be admitted like a doctor here because usually we use the same pensum. Here in San Martin, they use the same pensum than Holland, and it's difficult to be compatible, the year of a study. We have electrical crisis. We don't have electricity in almost all the city for 6 hours per day. We don't have electricity 6 hours per day. Only in the capital, in Caracas, you have electricity. But now you can see the failure of the electricity every 15 days for 4 hours in the capital. But for example, in Maracaibo, you can see 12 hours with no electricity. It's amazing. The medicine now, if you want to find a medicine, now you have to pay in dollars. And can you imagine? Here we pay the medicine with our taxes. You go to SXM, you have your insurance card, you go to the pharmacy give you the medicine, but you don't have idea of the cost of the medicine, the real cost. And Venezuela now, you can find the medicine, but you need the dollar to receive the medicine. In the past, was almost free. The government pay all. Even the Venezuela is not used to pay tax, so the tax amount is very, very low. Here we paid up 42%, almost all the person. The communication, I have my mother and my father in Venezuela. And if I want to talk with my family, the internet connection is terrible. I have to wait maybe 1 day, 2 days to talk with my family if they have internet at home. If you want to try to use the 3G in Venezuela, maybe 1 day, 2 days, we can talk, and then we have to wait 2, 3 days because they don't have electricity to charge the phone, or you don't have the internet connection. It's a real horrible situation. If I am here, it's because Venezuela has a horrible crisis. The Venezuelans don't want to go outside. We love our country. If we come here, it's because we are suffering, because we have to supply food for our family. If you have your son suffering, you cannot pay the food. If you have your mother in a bed sick and you don't have the money to pay, you say, I'm going to sacrifice, I'm going to do my sacrifice, I'm going to go outside, I want to find a place, and maybe you have a friend in San Martin, say, come here, maybe you're going to have a job. I'm going to find a job for you. But we want to be legal. That's what he said. If we need to pay tax, we pay tax. If we have to get a regular permission, we can do it. We can help it to be a part of this community. And if we are here, because we needed to be here. Okay, here, the San Martin Hospital is a good help the people, really. I can see, for example, Venezuelan with appendicitis, and they wait 2, 3, 4 days because they don't have the money to pay, and then they come with a peritonitis. Please send me to Venezuela. And Dr. Holly said, no, my friend, you have a peritonitis, you're going to die, you need a surgery. Okay, do the surgery. But so they wait because they don't have the money. If you have, a few days ago, I saw a worker with a fracture, a wrist fracture, and the patient wait 5 days to come to the hospital. I say, my friend, why you don't come? Because I don't know the system. Okay. I don't speak English. I don't know how to deal with this. And then finally, he had an X-ray, he had a cast. He paid for the service. And he had, if a lot of Venezuelans are living in the French side, because in the French side they have more like a refugee, and they have more support, because they have a free medical service. If they have an emergency, they can go. In the Dutch side, they have to pay. No? But if they have a fracture, they have an emergency, the hospital say, it's okay, we take care of the patient. Even they send the patient to Colombia, they have a special situation. It's possible the hospital can cover this, okay? So what is my experience of San Martin here? And we feel safe here. You don't have the idea when you go outside, you cannot walk with a phone in your hand because you can die. Give me your phone. You give the phone and you receive a gunshot. 100% sure. So you feel fear-free. You feel a normal person again here in San Martin. So we have to appreciate the liberty that we have here, the peaceful that we have here. So what happened? The Venezuelans are going to continue coming. What my advice, in my opinion, my personal opinion, give the opportunity to do a registration. You have here more than 5,000 Venezuelans here.